Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome around the globe to Kangen Water Radio, featuring the Kangen Water Health and Information International Call, where we consider, clarify, and often correct the conventional wisdom around Kangen water technology, the different machines, the science behind the water types, uses, and benefits, the testing process, the maintenance and cleaning of the machines, and much, much more. We also explore a plethora of other topics as we teach, promote, and discuss the three-pronged approach to health and wellness: hydration, detoxification, and complete macro and micronutrition. I'm family physician Dr. Lisa Battle Singletary, your virtual keto coach, and I'll be joined by my co-host and fearless leader, Mr. Terrence Hope, Enagic 6A distributor extraordinaire. And together, we bring you the best of both worlds. This is call number 417. Very hard for me to believe. It is 818, August 18th. And today we will be talking about, we'll begin. I think this is going to be a series. I really do. But there was an article that caught my eye as I was doing the research, and it was a new twist, I'll say, on chronic pain. So as often happens when I find these articles, then that means I'm starting in the middle, and I might have to go back and do some definitions or some other aspect. But chronic pain is the topic today, and specifically chronic pain patterns. Now, as a medical student, as a physician, I learned a lot about pain patterns, but usually it was referring to an acute pain. So if you had pain in your left shoulder or down your arm, that might indicate decreased oxygen to the heart, or a heart attack, the beginnings of a heart attack. If you had pain, pain in one area can be reflected, or what we say referred as pain in another area. If you have pain in your top tooth, sometimes it's because the bottom tooth has the problem. And they are very good at figuring out the wiring, how the nerves are wired in the body, that they can refer pain from one area to another. I'm going to mute you, Mr. Hope. Okay. So, like I said, I found several articles in my search that I want to share with you, and I don't think I'll be able to. I'm not even going to try to share them all today. And then we'll talk about. We'll start with an article from Healthline, and then we'll go to the article that really sparked my interest today, and then maybe we'll have time to touch on an article about referred pain. So let's just go to it, shall we? So let's see. I am going to pull up what causes chronic pain. And the article that I'm going to share with you is from healthline.com. That should not be a surprise. And we definitely have some comments to make about this. So everyone experiences occasional aches and pains. In fact, sudden pain is an important reaction of the nervous system that helps to alert you to possible injury. When an injury occurs, pain signals travel from the injured area up your spinal cord and to your brain, stopping first at the thalamus. We might talk about the thalamus a little bit. Pain will usually become less severe as the injury heals. However, chronic pain is different from typical pain. With chronic pain, your body continues to send pain signals to your brain even after an injury heals. This can last several weeks to years. Chronic pain can limit your mobility and reduce your flexibility, strength, and endurance. This may make it challenging to get through daily tasks and activities. Chronic pain is defined as pain that lasts at least 12 weeks. Now, we talked about this before. When I was in training, chronic pain was defined as over 6 months. And even some articles that I found, current articles, use the 6-month timeline. But in this article, they define it as over 12 weeks, which is half the time. Now, this was September of 2018. Okay. The pain may feel sharp or dull, causing a burning or aching sensation in the affected areas. It may be steady or intermittent, coming and going without any apparent reason. Chronic pain can occur in nearly any part of your body. The pain can feel different in the various affected areas. Some of the most common types of chronic pain include headache, post-surgical pain, post-trauma pain, lower back pain, cancer pain, arthritis pain, neurogenic pain, which is pain caused by nerve damage, and psychogenic pain, which is pain that isn't caused by disease, injury, or nerve damage. According to the American Academy of Pain Medicine, more than 1.5 billion, with a B, people around the world have chronic pain. It's the most common cause of long-term disability in the United States, affecting about 100 million Americans. What causes chronic pain? Chronic pain is usually caused by an initial injury, such as a back sprain or pulled muscle. It's believed that chronic pain develops after nerves become damaged. The nerve damage makes pain more intense and long-lasting. In these cases, treating the underlying injury may not resolve the chronic pain. In some cases, however, people experience chronic pain without any prior injury. The exact causes of chronic pain without injury aren't well understood. The pain may sometimes result from an underlying health condition, such as chronic fatigue syndrome, endometriosis, fibromyalgia, inflammatory bowel disease, interstitial cystitis, temporal mandibular joint dysfunction, vulvodynia. And, this is where it's really apparent that we're working on a different paradigm, not only in this call, but in the arena of natural medicine or natural or wellness, natural health. Because all of these words about what's causing chronic pain, particularly the truest words here are that they don't understand the chronic pain that occurs without injury. But the underlying cause is inflammation, right? And when the inflammation is and oxidative stress can be addressed, that is very often the key to nipping chronic pain in the bud. So, we're not talking about just the physical injury, but the healing of the initial insult or injury, if it was apparent. And sometimes it's not apparent because you can have inflammation or oxidative stress in an area without an apparent physical or diagnosable cause. So those old free radical electrons and oxidative radical reactive oxygen species in our bodies can be the underlying cause for the chronic pain. And that could be something that with the three-pronged approach, we can very much help. So this was funny, but not funny. Who's at risk for chronic pain? Chronic pain can affect people of all ages, but it's most common in older adults besides age. Other factors that increase your risk of developing chronic pain include having an injury, having surgery, being female, being overweight or obese. I wonder if this article is going to have to be redone to be more politically correct, but that also caught my eye. Okay, so how's it treated? So we're talking about medications. They are talking about anti-inflammatories. They're talking about opioids, which that's a little bit like putting a piece of tape over the check engine light so you can't see it blinking anymore because you get rid of the pain. Well, you're getting rid of the signal that there's a warning that something's wrong. Other procedures for chronic pain, oh, they run the gamut. Electrical stimulation. Now that's interesting. And I thought about another topic. Maybe we'll talk about this on Saturday, which is the power of distraction. Because, I mean, there's certain things that distraction is bad for, like driving, right? But there's certain things that distraction is good for. And that is basically how a TENS or transdermal electrical nerve stimulator works. It distracts your neurons by causing a stimulation in other neurons. It distracts your sharp pain neurons by causing a stimulation in your, let's say, your heat pain neurons. So your icy hot will distract your nerves and make you feel like the pain is gone. Lifestyle remedies, physical therapy, Tai Chi, yoga, art and music therapy, pet therapy, psychotherapy, massage, meditation. Just think about all of these things, how they have an effect on inflammation in your body. They are going to decrease the inflammation, and that in turn will decrease the chronic pain. Okay, so that was one of the actually, that was not the article that caught my eye today. The article that caught my eye today, let me see, I did a screenshot, was called Patterns of Chronic Pain in the Population. And this is not a complete article. This is just an abstract, but this journal made me patterns. The Journal of Osteopathic Medicine had this article, The Patterns of Chronic Pain in the Population. It's a 10-year-old article, but a couple of things really struck me about this abstract. So let's just, and some of us aren't familiar with osteopathic medicine, or we're getting more familiar with osteopathic medicine But I'm really happy to bring an article from this journal to this call. So the abstract, chronic pain is a common condition. Around 3/4 of people with chronic pain have pain in multiple sites. The more extensive the distribution of pain, the more intense, disabling, and distressing it is. Treating chronic pain patients at a musculoskeletal site-specific level is unlikely to be effective. Well, that's what we've been doing. When I say we, the allopaths. Psychological factors are implicated in nearly all types of chronic pain. And I'm going to put and disease because Mr. Hope and I talk a lot about the effects, the psychological effects of people with chronic illnesses, whether it's pain or just a chronic disease that we're talking about. All right. Integrated treatment plus integrated delivery of a biopsychosocial approach to treating the whole body and person may optimize care for those with chronic multi-site pain. And I love you can just feel from the wording of the abstract that they have a different approach than your standard medical approach to pain. So here are the highlights. Around 3/4, no, it's all in the abstract. 3/4 with chronic musculoskeletal pain have pain in multiple sites, and those sites aren't always explained by the neural connections that we learned when we talked about referred pain. So site-specific treatment is likely to maybe help a little, but it's not going to take care of the whole situation. This requires multidisciplinary care, and it may be worth exploring the concept of multi-skilling practitioners. I guess that means teaching them a lot of different modalities or a lot of different skills, a lot of different ways to take care of it. Now, the abstract, like I said, we don't have the whole article, but listen, this article, I always look at the references, and I would encourage you, if you have any interest in the topic of chronic pain, pull up this article and look at the references, because a lot of the references you can access. So just look at the name, the anatomical determinants of pain in the neck and the upper limbs. Influence of pain experience on the episode incidence of low back pain. Where does it hurt? Describing body locations of chronic pain. Measuring the troublesomeness of chronic pain by location. So they're looking at chronic pain from a much more holistic point of view. American College of Rheumatology classification for fibromyalgia. The prevalence of and associated features of chronic widespread pain, using the Manchester definition of chronic widespread pain. This is in the Journal of Rheumatology. So here's another one. Is all chronic pain the same? A 25-year follow-up study. So pain is one of the main reasons that people look for health or look for help with their health. And our usual response to pain, the physician's usual response to pain is missing, I think, a huge part of what is really underlying it. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a series. We're going to talk on the next call about maybe a little more about the pain patterns, but we're going to start talking about what we can do practically about chronic pain that we're experiencing. And I think with that, I would like to bring in our fearless leader, Mr. Terrence Hope, an Magic 6A distributor extraordinaire. Mr. Hope, the health advocate and health influencer to the stars and to the globe. Mr. Hope, are you with us?
Well, might be. And just making a quick adjustment there. There we go. All right, let's see how we do today. Calling from my moon base location in the stars, and so just a little joke there. But Dr. Singletary, once again, I'm very glad and very happy about the information that you showed today, where you're talking about pain control and giving more of the origins and understanding where that comes from. We understand that, of course, when there's an injury, there's a location, there's a site on the body that's going to receive additional attention by the immune system, by blood flow, and inflammation is part of the process of healing. We also know that the body is self-regulating and knows when also cut off that inflammation so that it can subside and the body can go back to homeostasis, to normalcy. But as you talked about, there are instances of chronic pain, where this is going on a regular basis. There are some things that are occurring that may not be allowing for the healing of that site, that injury location. And there may be other things that are going on, as you talked about in other calls, where the inflammation response stays on for whatever reason. And so what does pain come from? Pain comes from inflammation. And what does inflammation come from? You can also get a very high toxic buildup. I understand maybe that's a very acid buildup within that region or location. Correct me if I'm wrong. What can we do about it? So when we talk about detoxification, what we're really getting into is, a return to origin, a rebalancing of the equilibrium, a return to homeostasis, things back to where they should be. So can we remove that high toxic load? Can we remove that high acid load that allows for the inflammation, that then allows for the pain? Yeah. So of course, today we're going to talk about Kangen water. We're going to talk a little bit about, I'm going to mention something about turmeric as well, which is also known to have anti-inflammatory effects. Do what those things we can to assist the body when things have somehow gone out of order. Yeah. So, Kangen water. And by the way, once again, Dr. Singletary, Dr. Lisa Singletary, MD, I'm so glad that you are here on this call, that you've loaned your time and your efforts, and your giving to all of us, information that we very much would not have seen, understanding our bodies better, understanding the nutrition that's important for it, understanding detoxification, and how all these things can help the body's function. And as a board certified physician, bringing your medical expertise to the fore, so that we have what I always like to call the best of both worlds. And what I mean by that, of course, is the allopathic medicine, as well as what things can be done in our environment naturally to help us with our recoveries. So I'm always very thankful, as is everyone on this call, as is everyone who watches these videos as they go on YouTube. And we thank you. Yes. So for right now, I begin for a quick summary on Kangen water at the beginning. So, what is this Kangen water we talk about? Our motto is change your water, change your life. And And this is from the company called Enagic, which manufactures the machines. Um, yeah, I'm sure I'm on. So Kangen water is actually produced in an electrical process known as electrolysis, where electricity comes in direct contact with water. And when this happens, the water is going to produce ions, molecular structures that have an antioxidant effect on the body. So what is Kangen water? Kangen water is in science known as electrolyzed reduced water. Electrolyzed reduced water. And electrolyzed reduced water is a water that's produced in a process known as electrolysis. Electrolysis is a process where electricity comes in direct contact with water. So we see electrolyzed, electrolysis, electricity, all things giving you the prefix of the origin of where this is coming from regarding electricity. Yeah. So these are the Kangen water machines. Many people have seen them. This is the model known as the SD501. These machines make 7 different types of water. The Kangen waters, which is an 8.5, 9.0, and 9.5 pH level. And as I mentioned pH, here's a reminder. Our water machines do not alkalize your body. They're not in a sense of a mineralized alkaline water. The pH settings on our machines are only there to give you an indication of the volume of antioxidant ions within the water at a time. So because we say 8.5, 9.0, 9.5 pH, those are just indicators for us in the process of electrolysis that will show the volume of antioxidant ions or molecules within the water, because detoxification is the key to our water benefits, not alkalization. And I'll go over that, something else regarding that in a second. So we've got the Kangen water at the 8.5, 9.0, 9.5 levels. We have what's known as clean water, which is actually a neutral pH water. We have below that an acidic water that is known as a beauty water because it's good for your skin. We have a strong Kangen water, that's 11.5 pH water, which is excellent for detoxifying foods. We have a strong acid water, which is a medical grade hypochlorous acid at a pH of 2.5 that will kill E. coli and viruses and bacteria on surfaces. So you have the elements that will sterilize surfaces, that will sterilize or detoxify your foods, purify your skin and hair. A neutral pH water for some nominal uses or normal uses, like make you taking a medication that doesn't require detoxification in the process. And the 8.5 to 9.5 Kangen water for hydration and detoxification. These are the different settings that show, once again, the 8.5, 9.0, 9.5 on our machines. And this is the Kangen 8 machine. It's our 8-plate electrolyzer. It hosts a universal power supply system that allows you to travel to any country in the world and plug the machine into any electrical socket, where you would not have to use a power converter in these cases. Very beneficial for people in close proximity to other countries, particularly like in Europe and so forth, where they may be more prone to travel between countries. And of course, international travelers of any country, including the United States. So you don't have to use a power converter for this one. And that's a huge benefit. Here's our SD501 again, our 7-plate machine. This is our platinum SD501. It has a metallic exterior. It's pretty much the same as the original SD501. It's just, decorative for people who have kitchens that might be stainless steel and walnut, or where people might just prefer like a more metallic exterior on the machine. So once again, Kangen water is an electrolyzed reduced water. It goes through a process known as electrolysis, where electricity and water come in contact with one another. There are a number of different science reviews that you can do under the heading of electrolyzed reduced water, so you understand more about the health benefits of Kangen water. Kangen water is an electrolyzed reduced water. We don't make any medical claims here about what Kangen water can do, but there are a plethora of science reviews and clinical trials on the subject matter that you can look up for yourself, even under the Public Library of Medicine online at pubmed.gov at NIH, the National Institutes of Health, and other scholarly letters and reviews and papers. So Kangen water is a water where electricity comes in contact with water. There's our lightning strike representing that. Here's our water, H2O. So when H2O comes in contact with water, kapows, I like to say, it causes a division or breakdown of the water molecule. Here's H2O breaking down to its elements of OH negative and H plus. And so with that, you'll see the lightning strike water, you'll see a division of the water molecule, you'll see a restructuring of the water molecule with the elements that came from it, in this case, OH negative, also known as N hydroxide ion. And you'll see the production of additional antioxidant ions. It is these antioxidant ions that are responsible for the detoxification of the body. Inside the machine, the electrolysis process goes on in a chamber where you've got an anode and a cathode, a positive and a negative pole. And here you see some of the production of the antioxidant ions in process. Once again, looking at what goes on when you hit water with electricity and the different benefits that you get from the molecular structures that occur. Here's an article under Science Direct. It's a publication called, an article is called Trends in Food and Science Technology, Trends in Food Science Technology, so that you can understand more about what's going on. So once again, it's antioxidant ions and molecules that are allowing for the antioxidant effect going on inside our Kangen water machines. We measure the antioxidant effect in millivolts in a device known as an ORP meter that will show either a negative number or a positive number when we put our node, our reader, into a liquid substance. So if I put that in water under a Kangen water, I'm looking for a high negative number that indicates detoxification. If I'm looking at things like junk foods that we know already that are bad for us, we test them in the same meter, you'll see the ORP, or oxidative reduction potential, be a very high positive number. That means it's more toxic for the body, does not allow for toxins to be removed. So negative charge, antioxidants, green tea, vitamin C, so forth. Positive charge, soda, tap water, which we know is full of chlorine and all kinds of chemicals, and various other types of waters that are not beneficial, like reverse osmosis water is very acidic pH, but more importantly, it is demineralized. There's no minerals in it. So it will tend to leach onto the minerals within your own body and pull them with something that you don't want. Be careful of some of the purified waters on the market. God knows how they're producing it, but they tend to come out more in the acidic range, to the very low end, 2.5 pH. Distilled water, once again, may be okay for a moment, like a day or two, for detoxification, but not at all good for the body. Long term, it'll pull minerals out of your body. So things to be aware of. Your body is mostly water. So the kind of water you have in your body will dictate the benefits that you'll get from it. If you have a chlorine-based water, you'll have chlorine in your bloodstream. If you have an electrolyzed reduced water, you'll have a detoxing water. That'll be highly beneficial. That I highly recommend, because now you've got a water that's going to be in all the cells in your body, all the interstitial levels, all in your bloodstream, and having a water that's more detoxing or antioxidant will have a higher benefit, as well as these electrolyzed reduced waters have a energizing effect in the body. H2, hydrogen atoms that bond together are brought up into the Krebs cycle and converted into energy. So you'll very easily produce more energy by drinking this Kangen water, detoxify the body, and keep the body in a more pH balanced state. This is a representation of a fish tank that has to be kept clean so the fish can stay alive. If it becomes too toxic, they can't function either. See, these are some of the junk foods that we're known to eat that make our body so very heavily toxic. You know, some of these things are clearly not even food. I mean, where do they come from? How are they processed? What benefits is a Coca-Cola? Where is that on the food chain? Yeah, people are drinking a plethora of different sodas that are not beneficial for the body. So these are different pH ranges. So I get back to my point from earlier. What is it about Kangen water that's so special? It's an antioxidant water. It is often been referred to as an alkaline water, which is because of the reading tool we use to measure the antioxidant effect. But that in the open market has become confused, and people think that the body being that the rhetoric has been kicked up that says the body is alkaline, drink alkaline water, eat alkaline foods, your body will be healthy. It's actually well-meaning by people who talk about it very often, but it's inaccurate. So from this little diagram I'm showing you, it's to show you the different pH levels, whether acid or alkaline, of the different organs in the body. And it gives you an idea of what's going on as far as what's healthier for you. The pH of your organs must be at their own specific level to be healthy. Some organs like the stomach are going to be more on the acidic side. Some organs like the heart are going to be more on the alkaline side. But all these organs must maintain pH range designed for them to function properly with no variation. So looking over here, we see the small intestines are right range from 4.0 to 7.0. That's the acidic range. The large intestines do the same. So they must be more of an acidic to maybe as far as neutral, depending on the stage of digestion. The stomach itself, 1.5 to 4.0 pH. This is once again a very low pH. It's in the acidic range. Down here, it's showing your urine could range from the acidic range of 4.5 all the way up to 8.0. It all depends on what's going on with your detoxification at the time. Gastric secretion, the stomach acids, 1.0 to 3.5. Saliva, 6.0 to 7.4. What you're seeing here is a range of pH levels. So as you can very easily see from these diagrams, the body is not entirely alkaline. The body varies in pH. Here it says pH values of the human body. And I'll read this because it's a fine print. Fluids in the human body function to provide digestion, lubrication, nutrition, nutrient and oxygen transportation, and protection. To perform these functions, the acid levels must be varied to match the bodily function. Overall levels of acidity or alkalinity are a measure on a pH scale and must be carefully controlled in each bodily fluid. So our pH levels range. Now, if we have an antioxidant water, we can expel toxicity. Toxicity can sometimes get in the way of the organs being able to maintain their own pH range where it should be. If we remove that toxicity, your body is better able to maintain its proper pH. And that's the whole key behind Kangen water. It's an electrolyte reduced water designed to detox the body and to energize the body. So once we remove toxicity, your body, being, as you can see here, self-regulating in its ability to maintain pH balance, will do that effortlessly without the burden of toxins in the way. So remember, Kangen water is not an alkaline water in the mineral sense. It is an antioxidant water known as electrolyzed reduced water. Yeah. And once you can detox the body, you can stay in the range that you're supposed to be. This is a pH scale going from really down here 0 to 14. And what you're seeing is 2.5, 5.5, 6.0, neutral 7.0, 8.5, 9.0, 9.5. Various ranges of the pH scale. Be careful if you see information like this out in the public, where it talks about poor health being acidity and good health being alkaline. These are some of the diagrams that go up that say the body is alkaline to be healthy. The body is not alkaline entirely. Your body is self-regulating and does not require that you eat something or drink something specific to keep the pH range. Remember, you drink, like you might eat oranges or lemons, limes, grapefruit, pineapple, tomatoes. These are in the acidic range. We all know they're healthy for us, yeah? Your body will take the energy from the food you eat and regulate all the organs' functions, including its pH range. So we don't have to eat alkaline foods to be healthy. You can eat alkaline foods that are organic. You can eat acidic foods that are organic, like pineapples and oranges. What you want to avoid is toxicity that can inhibit the body's ability to maintain proper pH. Alkalinity and high pH, a little bit that the diagram here that says electrical versus chemical. So if you ever see alkaline water in the store, like Essentia and some of the other alkaline waters, they're simply trying to tout how the term that had early on been used to describe Kangen water. Like I'm saying again, Kangen water is not an alkaline water in the mineralized sense. It is an antioxidant water produced through electricity. There's water on the market that add minerals, calcium, magnesium, potassium, things that are minerals that are alkaline. So they can say your water that they're telling you is alkaline. Really just to match Kangen water's rhetoric about healthy water, but we meant electrolyzed reduced water, not mineralized alkaline water. Big difference. Knowing this difference can make sure you get the water that's best for you. So just a little few more notes here about the water bottling manufacturers, and a reminder the body is self-healing. You know, we need to remove toxicity that would cause inflammation and that would lead to, pain. And if you have a Kangen water or electrolyte reduced water, you have something that can remove toxicity so your body can be healthy. I always show this depiction of the animals in the wild. So I remind people that they got the proper diet, eating produce and protein and drinking water. Humans are eating all kind of junk foods. We don't have the proper nutrition for our body to do the job it's supposed to do. Get closer to produce, protein, and things your body really needs for full health. And you can see greater benefits and function of your body, and greater effectiveness in what it does to make you be you. So, I talk about the skin being self-healing. I talk about the bones being self-healing. A fracture to a bone, a break to a bone is treated with a cast to keep it still, so that as it heals itself, it heals evenly. A cut or an abrasion to the skin is treated with a Band-Aid, so your body can, have a clean area while it heals itself. So we already know that the body heals itself from the surface of the skin down to the depths of the bones. We didn't realize self-healing also occurs down to the cellular level within your body. As long as you can remove toxicity, allow pH balance to occur, as long as you can get proper hydration, as long as you can get proper nutrition, your body will stay healthy. So I'm going to pause there, just giving you a summary of what Kangen water is and how it works within the body, and as well, how to use it, to get what you need. These are some of the phone numbers that you can reach us on offline, and websites from the United States to the United Kingdom to Dubai. We are worldwide and happy to help. Have a secretary. Oops, I think you're muted. There you go.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. I was single muted. Usually I'm double muted, but I was single. But thank you for joining us from your secret bunker hidden somewhere beneath a nondescript building somewhere.
Thank you very much.
We do appreciate you joining us today, and your remarks about the removal of toxicity from the body, allowing the body to do what it's designed to do, is so important and so crucial in what we do, both on the nutrition side, because if you have toxic buildup and then you're just stuffing in more nutrition, the cells aren't able still to
access.
There you go. To use the nutrition that you're putting in. Yeah. So being able to clear that toxicity or decrease it at least to the level that the body's natural antioxidants can be effective, huge benefit to achieving that state of dynamic equilibrium homeostasis. So thank you. That was an awesome summary of the benefits of the water, and they work together hand in hand, the three-pronged approach. You promised, okay, I'll go back to what I promised and didn't deliver, and then I'm going to go to what you promised and didn't deliver.
What did I promise?
So what I promised and didn't deliver was I never showed you the article that actually sparked my attention today and got me on this So, the other articles that I found were a little bit older, but, we like the new current spiffy stuff. And so this was the article uh, that, when I was looking for health news,
Mm-hmm.
that sparked my interest. And how many times have I asked this question over my career? Where does it hurt? And we actually had, there was like a QRST algorithm that we used. Q was the quality of pain. I don't even remember what the R was. But the temporal, what's the, I'm going to have to look. So, okay, I'm going to do that on Saturday. We're going to QRST pain on Saturday.
RESP, CT.
But this article about pain and developing a pain map. So over time, and this is the thing about pain. Pain is subjective, right? Only you can feel it. You can't tell someone, or you can tell someone what you're feeling, but you can't, it's difficult to convey your pain to someone. That's why we QRST, we try to quantify, we try to, is it sharp, stabbing, burning, squeezing, pulling, etc. That's like the Q. But anyway, they are over time studying this, and they've been studying pain for a long, long time. They analyzed data from 21,658 people who attended pain management clinics over a 3-year period. And when you have that kind of statistical power, then you can take something that's subjective, like pain, but we can develop an objective, maybe probability or an objective paradigm that we can learn things. And so this article really talked about the pain mapping, and how based on the map, they could predict whether pain would improve, whether their physical function would improve, and how people's overall impression of their pain clinic experience would be affected. So they concluded that the study demonstrates that patterns of pain distribution provide information beyond a simple tally of the number of pain regions. Given its association with pain intensity, quality, and patient-reported outcomes, hierarchical cluster assignment based on the body map may help identify patients at risk of poor outcomes. Now, this is interesting. You would think, okay, you want to identify patients at risk of poor outcomes, but I talked to someone yesterday who went to seek help at a pain clinic, and they refused to take her because they didn't think she would have a good outcome. I was astounded. So wow. This is a two-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
Like it's recognizing that pain is more than just a physical location,
right,
that we can map on the body, but it's also I think going to be developing maybe even some AI tool to evaluate chronic pain.
Sure.
That was just, but I wanted to show the current update article that sparked my interest. Now, what you promised was a discussion about turmeric.
Oh, I did mention that earlier on.
You did.
And, yeah, we kind of got a little further on. But before I mention anything about that, I do notice we've got a couple of hands up. And so I want to make sure people know that we take live questions here. We have a live Q&A. And so you can ask any question you like to both Dr. Singletary and myself. Oops. And we'd be happy to answer your questions.
I just muted you, Irene. I'm sorry.
As best we can. And we will move forward with more enrichment to the call and your questions. But you've got Irene there, yeah?
Absolutely. The wonderful
Oh,
Irene.
oh, yes, keeping busy, that's for sure. Chronic pain. I'm sure I'm not the only one who wakes up in the morning with lower back pain. And just recently, I went to a foot doctor because I have a right foot bunion that has been killing me tremendously. And it found out that my big toe, and I'm thinking, how did this happen? And he said, it's been going on for a while. He said, it's been going on for a while. So I'm thinking, I go, of course, when I've done my cartwheel, uh, I stub my toe and I just go on with my life. I will go away. Well, let me tell you, now through maybe 40 years, I have almost like bone on bone, and I have arthritis in that area. And that's, and you know, things happen. So trying to figure out a solution for it. And I've been taking my MSM and my Kangen water, rebound, whatever, trying to keep my inflammation and arthritis down. But that's another path we have to work on. But back pain with the chiropractors, the first one that I found that he is the best one after all these years that I've come across. He's not just a chiropractor. He takes the time to ask you, what's the level of the pain? Where is the pain? And you know, is it from 1 to 10? 10 is the severest and 1 is the least. And when I say 5, he says, we got to work better on this, come on. So I have to say, we all deal with pain, and everybody's pain is so different. Everybody's pain, everybody's situation is so different. So I just want to say thank you for bringing up this subject and educating us more and more. And I love you guys dearly. Ciao.
We love you too. And yeah, we got to get you dancing. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
toe pain for a mere mortal like myself,
yeah.
not so significant. Toe pain for a dancer,
Uh-huh.
well,
We'll
yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to drag you with me.
Absolutely. I can't wait. All right,
Thank
love.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So we were waiting on some turmeric words for Mr. Hope. So I'll just say turmeric is amazing. And he might have been called away. So, and turmeric does have many, many, many helpful qualities in the body: anti-inflammatory, antiviral, antifungal, coagulant. And okay, let me say, I don't mean like warfarin or you know, the Coumadin, the anticoagulants that block the coagulation cascade, right? Pharmaceuticals block body processes. I think of it as more normalizing the body's ability to not only to coagulate, but to have blood flow. It makes the body function better, and it makes the blood flow more freely. So, but it doesn't block coagulation when it's needed. So that's the difference, I think, in turmeric versus the Coumadin and heparin types of medication. So, and Mr. Hope did say, as far as inflammation is absolutely necessary for the healing process, but there's a time and a place for it to be calmed down. And turmeric the cells that are regulating the inflammatory process in the body, the cells that are on deck in order to keep inflammation in its place, are cells that are stimulated by turmeric. So That's just a brief, not even an overview or summary of what turmeric does, but a brief highlight, I would say, of some of the anti-inflammatory or some of the benefits of turmeric. And we did several calls, especially in the beginning of the Kangen Water Health and Information call, because we used to have Turmeric Tuesdays. And so there are several calls that if you get the call topics list, you can refer to as getting information about turmeric. Some of them were really, really extensive and really good. Okay, so any other comments or questions? You can raise your hand or you can type your questions into the chat. And and you heard Irene say how important it was for her that her chiropractor asked her all of those different characteristics about the pain. You know, how intense it is, where it is, what brings it on, what brings it off, etc. What makes it better. You know, just saying that something hurts, that's not enough to translate the pain experience to your practitioner. And so if your doctor or health practitioner is not exploring or is not asking you these things, then you're going to have a hard time with the mind meld, where you know that they understand what kind of pain you are having, and then would have I want to say reasonable. I mean, the word that comes to mind is reasonable, but we'll use reasonable. A reasonable plan, an understandable plan to address the pain. Okay, so next time, what I'm going to do is we're going to do the QRSTs of pain. And what that will do is it will help you communicate to your practitioner, whether it's a doctor, medical doctor, a chiropractor, a naturopath, a physical therapist. But I'll be helping you to communicate your pain to your practitioner by using the QRSTs of pain. So we'll do that on Saturday. All righty. Well, despite the technical difficulties we had earlier, we have made it to the end of call number 417. And but I can't stop the call. So I will show you how to find the call resources. Some of you, and I will show you our housekeeping PowerPoint, and then we will talk about the call resources. Some of this Mr. Hope went over today, but hopefully you can see my screen. Thank you for joining us today on Kangen Water Radio. And okay, so I don't know what that green thing is, but we will be here on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK time, 9 p.m. Dubai time, on the same Kangen Water Radio Zoom, same Kangen Water Radio time. And in the meantime, if you have any questions or comments, you can contact us at these numbers. Mr. Hope already went over the USA numbers, the UK numbers, the UAE numbers. We've got a number for India, a number for South Africa, and we have email, KWNation, the number 7 at gmail.com. For the replay, you can go to YouTube, and this particular call will be up a little later today. Actually, tonight, I'm not going to have time to do the processing right away. But if you go to YouTube and search Kangen Water Radio, number one, please subscribe. We love having you as part of the Kangen Water Radio family, but also please check out the description box for the call resources that I put there. Because sometimes I'll put extra videos in there that you can check out at a later time. We really want you to get as much of the information as you want for your health journey. Okay, Mr. Hope, I know you might be really busy, but I wonder if you could make me the host so I can actually end the call.
Okay.
Or you could end. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, everybody. So we will be here on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. We appreciate you, we love you, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. Mwah. Bye-bye.